Hello everyone, and this is DaseinWasHere today, and we'll be talking about tips, tricks, and tactics of the Zarek Venturer. The Zarek Venturer is a medium support slash assault craft that is very versatile and can fit into many roles on the battlefield. The Venturer's primary weapon is Mining Laser. Mining Laser is an amazing weapon, being as it has decent damage combined with the fact that it has a really decent range. This is a 15k range weapon, which really allows it to poke enemies from afar and do some good harassing damage. It is also pinpoint accurate. This weapon is a hit scan weapon, which means you point, you click, you hit. That's all you have to do. Fairly simple, but this very simple mechanic allows it to do pinpoint damage onto broken armor segments, as well as it also allows you to hit vessels that are hard for most people to hit, those really small flighty vessels that are flying around your fleet and harassing you. Thus, you perform two key roles with this weapon. This weapon has only okay damage, though, being as it has really good range and pinpoint accuracy. Thus, that is the trade-off. But it synergizes really well with the secondary weapon on the Venturer, which is Stonecracker. The Venturer's secondary weapon is Stonecracker. Stonecracker does no actual damage to the ship, but completely and totally destroys whatever armor facing it hits. This means if you hit a brawler side armor, it's gone. If you hit a flagship side armor, it's gone. Whatever facing you hit. This means that you and your team are going to be doing way more damage to whatever target you hit. It is important to keep in mind this has the same range as your primary weapon, as well as a fairly small skill shot to hit. That way you'll have to be very accurate and learn to lead with this weapon. It is important to remember that Stonecracker has a fairly high cooldown. This means you'll really need to pick and choose when you're going to use it, being as most of your damage on the Venturer does not come from a high damage primary weapon, but comes from the fact that you're continuously hitting broken armor. The Venturer's primary ability is Heal Pulse. Heal Pulse is a really strong AoE heal that is very versatile, being as it doesn't just heal your allies, but it also heals you. Heal Pulse is also very strong due to the fact that it is a burst heal. Burst heals are really strong in Fractured Space, being as they instantly heal armor as well. This is key, being as you're really enhancing the amount of health that your team has by instantly healing all of that armor that the enemy just broke, being as now the enemies that have to re-break that armor to get that damage bonus. Also, the Venturer's Heal Pulse is a great way to get rid of fighters, bombers, and missiles, being as Heal Pulse doesn't just heal, but it also does damage to those as well. The Venturer's next ability is Falcon Missiles. Falcon Missiles are really nice weapons to have on the Venturer, being as unlike normal missiles, which really rely on doing a lot of damage when they hit, these missiles really do not rely on the instant damage that hits, but the plasma stacks that they incur. You hit a target with Falcon Missiles, and you're going to do plasma damage, stacking up to 8 times per missile that actually gets through their point defense. These missiles also are splash damage. Thus, even if they shoot them down really close to them, they're still going to take some plasma damage. This is really useful when dealing with ships that are likely to jump away from you or your allies, being as now if they jump away, they're going to take guaranteed plasma damage. The damage over time by plasma is also useful to use against ships that can cloak, keeping them from being able to cloak from you and your allies, as well as is useful to fire at people heading toward forward bases or main bases to heal, being as they will not be able to heal until the damage over time is over. The Venturer's final ability is Shield Buoy. Shield Buoy provides an AoE shield that reduces incoming enemy fire around the location of the buoy. This buoy is deployable, and when you deploy it, it will last until it is either killed by the enemy or until you deploy another buoy. This buoy is targetable by enemy fire, which really makes it key for you to choose a good tactical location for it, one where it will provide the best protection for your team, as well as one and where the enemy can't easily get to it, like behind a station or behind a rock, somewhere where the enemy cannot get to it. It is important to remember that the shield buoy has a long cooldown. This means you're really going to have to pick and choose which fights you're going to have that shield buoy at and where you're going to need that utility most to help your team. When flying the Venturer, it is important to remember you are a combat support ship. You're really going to have to keep in mind your allies. You're going to have to remember that you're going to have to stay fairly close to be able to use that heal, being as it is a fairly close range heal, as well as pay attention to their health, as well as their armor ratings, being as soon as that armor breaks, you're going to want to hit that heal pulse to be able to get maximum effect from that ability. You're going to also want to remember and decide what fights you're going to need that shield buoy at, being as Gamma and other big team fights, you're going to want to use that for. If you're holding a line at a particular area, you're going to want to use that, but you're also going to need to defend that buoy. Stonecracker will give your team a lot of utility by breaking down that armor, allowing them to do a lot more damage, which really makes it important for you to save it for the targets with a lot of armor like brawlers, flagships, instead of using them on things like enforcers, which really have paper-thin armor. All this being said, if you do face a 1v1 situation or a situation where you have to hold a line, you're going to need that shield buoy in a spot where you can survive. You're going to have to remember to rotate your armor, being as you do have a decent health pool and a decent enough armor pool that if you're rotating your armor within the shield buoy and using your shield pulses as soon as your armor breaks, so as soon as that armor breaks, popping off that shield pulse, you should be able to survive a lot of fights, being as soon as you stonecracker an enemy, they're either going to have to rotate that armor or you're going to be hitting broken armor. If it's a smaller target, your laser beams will be able to easily hit and keep on hitting smaller targets and wearing them down. And larger targets, if you're hitting broken armor, you're going to be doing some good damage, as well as the survivability that you have, as well as the range you have, will really allow you to poke them from a distance and really whittle them down. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video on tips, tricks, and tactics of the Zarek Venturer. Please remember to like and subscribe this video, and take care!